All right, welcome back to the channel. I would have never thunk it. Canelo Alvarez clout chasing Gervonta Davis to sell his own fight. Who really is the face of boxing now? Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Gervonta Davis. Canelo Alvarez has a fight coming up May 3rd against William Skull in Saudi Arabia that absolutely nobody has any interest in that I know of. And Gervonta Davis just fought against Lamont Roach in a fight that many people think are controversial, and some highly obnoxious people are demanding that he be disqualified and his draw be overturned. I am having a hard time dealing with the fact that Gervonta Davis, through negativity alone, has proven that he is the face of boxing. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you guys so much for your continued support. All right, so I was up in the air about this, about who the face of boxing was, until I saw something this morning where Canelo Alvarez made a statement about Gervonta Davis and whether or not Gervonta Davis should have been disqualified, right? Or because of what took place in the Lamont Roach fight. He said Canelo was asked about it. Canelo says that should have been a knockdown, and he turned his back and stuck his head and got his towel wiped. That should have been a disqualification. Just saying, right? Innocuous comment, really, because Canelo Alvarez has his own opinion. And that's a reasonable interpretation of the situation. I don't have a problem with what he said. I'm amazed by the fact that a week later that he's actually he's being asked that question in the lead up to a fight between him and William Skull. And that topic, the Lamont Roach situation, has literally captivated the entire boxing world and overshadowed everything in the boxing world for the entire week. It's the #1 topic, and it has boxing writers acting like absolute buffoons, hypocritically, let me say for sure, hypocritically, seeing as Turkey Al-Sheikh was seen literally fixing a fight in Saudi Arabia just a couple weeks ago, and the same boxing writers had nothing to say about that at all. So who's really the face of boxing? Is it the guy, Canelo Alvarez, who has to answer questions about Gervonta Davis in his press conference and have his press conference completely overshadowed by what he says about Gervonta Davis? Nobody's going to pay any attention to anything else Canelo said in that interview other than his opinion about Gervonta Davis. That tells you how big Gervonta Davis is. And you better believe fighters can get bigger in defeat, because now you guys can't run around and cry and complain about who he fights, cry that this man who's barely a 135 pounder should be moving up to 140, 147, 154 to chase greatness at the size that this guy is. But at the end of the day, the question's answered. Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing, whether for good or for bad. If you are the guy that everybody is focused on, everybody knows your name, everybody is centered on what you do when you do it, that means you're the face of boxing. I personally he's the center of boxing, but he's clearly the center of boxing. You have guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh that claim that they're the face of boxing. And that's who people are trying to No, it's not a boxer anymore. It's Turki Al-Sheikh that's the face of boxing. Turki Al-Sheikh has more failed boxing ventures than anybody else. But because he continues to invest money in situations where he's going to lose money, the press and everybody just loves him because he's just throwing around a bunch of money, getting people to say whatever. But at the end of the day, Gervonta Davis's fight with Lamont Roach is going to seriously draw anything Canelo Alvarez could possibly do on DAZN and fighting in Saudi Arabia on Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so as far as what the numbers are about to be, and I do believe, and it's going to be interesting to see what the numbers for. I don't remember what the numbers for the last fight Canelo had though, but I don't think that they were as high as the numbers are being reported for Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach at over 500,000. And that again was against Lamont Roach, who was like not somebody that a lot of people know. Anyway, man, I don't have a problem. Again, I don't have a problem with what Canelo Alvarez's opinion. I don't have a problem with people saying what should have happened at that time. Okay, if you felt like at that time it should have been a 10-8, cool. At that time, it should have been a 10-8, but not now. You don't change it because you don't know what would have happened if Gervonta Davis would have known it was a 10-8 round and he would have had to go out there and fight. He may have turned around on the cards. It may have affected the way that the judges looked at the rounds moving forward. You just honestly, you don't know. And honestly, I really believe with the two 10-9 scorecards that there was for that round, that those judges took points off anyway, because there was no reason for that to be a 10-9 round. That should have been a 10-9. Other than that thing, that was a 10-9 round for Gervonta Davis. So you don't really even know whether or not the judges themselves adjusted for it and made it a 2-point swing anyway by just giving Lamont Roach a round that he otherwise wouldn't have won if Gervonta Davis hadn't done that. That's the most likely scenario, or at least you can make that plausible argument as to why you do not know exactly what would have happened in that fight if it would have been counted a knockdown. But people just want to try to run the man down. But who else have you seen this with? You've seen it with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had an IV, right? An illegal IV, and Steve Kim and these guys go off into this big fit about how he should be disqualified because he had an IV, because he had an illegal IV in a fight. I don't know whether it was ahead of Victor Ortiz or whatever, but the bandwagging and the posturing and all that stuff, it's not new. Matter of fact, as you know, because Muhammad Ali didn't enter the draft, they did suspend him and didn't allow him to fight for 3 years. So anyway, that's my take on the matter. Congratulations, Gervonta, and I hope Lamont Roach ain't stupid enough to really keep pushing stuff and talk himself out that fight or take some other offer from somebody to have another fight. But that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.